Hello, dear students. In our previous session, we have covered or we have completed about different types of communication protocols and their functions. So today we are going to discuss about a new topic and the most important topic, that is OSI model. Okay, so before going through to the topic, my name is Bankeshwar Panigrahi, faculty, BCA department, Chikiti Mahavidyalaya. So today we are going to discuss about OSI model. So first we have to know what is the full form of OSI. Okay, so first we have to know what is the full form of OSI. The full form of OSI is Open System Interconnection. Okay, what is that? Open System Interconnection. Generally, it is a reference model that describes how information from a software application in one computer moves through a transmission medium to the software application in another computer, how the process is going on. It is totally elaborated in OSI model. Okay, or OSI model is responsible for that. Okay, so what is the main responsibility of OSI model? Generally, it is a reference model that describes how information from a software application in one computer moves through a transmission medium to the software application in other computer, okay, or in another computer. Okay, so another important point is there. It is developed by the ISO in 1984. Okay, it is developed by ISO. So the full form of ISO is International Standard Organization in 1984. Okay, so what is the main task here of the OSI model? So the basic task is it divides the whole task into 7 small and manageable tasks, and each layer is assigned a particular task. Each layer is assigned a particular task. That means it is a layered approach. It is a layered approach. Generally 7 layers are there. Okay, so what are the 7 layers and what are the functions includes in our 7 layers? We have discussed one by one. Okay, so this is the introduction for OSI model. As I have told you that OSI stands for Open System Interconnection. It is a reference model that describes how information from a software application in one computer moves through a physical medium or transmission medium to the software application in another computer. Okay. So another point is there. OSI consists of 7 layers, as I have told you that it is a layered approach. That's why how many layers are there? 7 number of layers are there, and each layer performs a particular network function. Each layer performs a particular network function. So OSI was developed by the International Organization for Standardization, that is ISO, in 1984, and it is now considered as an architectural model for the intercomputer communications. Okay. So next point is OSI model divides the whole task into 7 smaller and manageable tasks. Each layer is assigned a particular task. Okay. And each layer is self-contained, so that task assigned to each layer can be performed independently. Okay. So this is the introduction for OSI model. So it is the diagrammatical representation of 7 number of layers. So what are the layers are there? Application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, physical layer. Okay. So these are the 7 number of layers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So 7 number of layers are there, and by using 7 number of layers we can communicate each other. Okay, we can communicate with each other. So what are the characteristics of OSI model, and what are the major characteristics of OSI model? We have to discuss about what is the major characteristics of OSI model. So OSI model is divided into 3 parts, as it is given here. 3 parts. One is software layer, second one is heart of OSI model, and third one is hardware layers. Basically it is two layers, or it is divided into 2 parts, software layers and hardware layers, and the third part is the middle part, that is heart of OSI model. Okay, heart of OSI model. So in software layers, what are the layers are comes under the software layers? Application layer, presentation layer and session layer. And what are the layers comes under hardware layer? Network layer, data link layer and physical layer. And the middle part of the OSI model, that is the transport layer, it is known as the heart of the OSI model. Okay. So the upper layers of the OSI model, mainly deals with the application related issues, and they are implemented only in the softwares. So these three layers are mainly deals with the application related issues, and they are implemented only in the software sections. That's why they are called as software layers. Okay. So the lower three layers of the OSI model deals with the data transport issues, what is that? The lower three layers are deals with the data transport issues. Okay, that is done by the heart of the OSI, and that is called as transport layer. Okay, so generally OSI model is having how many number of layers are there? Seven number of layers are there. What are they? One is application layer, number two is presentation layer, number three is session layer, number four is transport layer, number five network layer, and number six data link layer, and number seven physical layer. Okay, we may go through one by one. Okay, we may go through the one by one. So first we may start with the physical layer. Okay, first we may start with the physical layer. Okay. So these are the characteristics as I have told you. Okay, these are the characteristics as I have told you. So first we may go to the physical layer. Okay, functions of the OSI layers. So what are the basic functions are there? There are 7 OSI layers. Each layer has different functions. A list of 7 layers are given below. So what are the layers? Physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation, and application layer. So first we may go through the physical layer. Okay, so what is the physical layer and what are its functionalities? So first we may go to the physical layer. Okay, so the main functionality of the physical layer, listen carefully what I have told, what I am going to told you, listen carefully. Okay, about the physical layer, then we may go to the notes, detailed notes. Okay, first I have to say something about the physical layer. Okay, after that we may go to the notes. Okay, clear notes. Okay, so the main functionality of the physical layer is to transmit the individual bits from one node to the another node, or from one computer to the another computer. Again I am repeating. So the main functionality is to transmit the individual bits from one node to another node is the main functionality of the physical layer. Okay, so it is the lowest layer. It is the lowest layer as shown in the diagram. It is the lowest layer. Okay, it is the lowest layer. It maintains the physical connections. That means all the physical connections are directly related to the physical layer. It maintains the physical connection. It specifies, another point is that it specifies the mechanical electrical specifications, what the mechanical devices are used and what are the electrical equipments are used in our physical layer. So it is described in the physical layer. Okay, it is described in the physical layer. We may go through the notes. Okay, this is the diagrammatic representation of physical layer. So from the data link layer, whatever the data are come to the physical layer, this is the raw bit stream data. Okay, as I have told you, it is to transmit the individual bits from one node to another node. So these are the bit patterns. Okay, and this 0 and this 1 and this 0, these are called as individual bits. Okay, they are transmitted to the data link layer by the help of transmission medium. Okay, it is come from the data link layer and it moves to the data link layer of another device. Okay, there are two systems are there now, so that's why from one system it is comes from the data link layer, and through the transmission medium or the physical medium it moves again to the data link layer of another system. Okay, so these are the nodes based on the what physical layer. So the main functionality of the physical layer is to transmit the individual bits from one node to another node. It is the lowest layer of the OSI model. It establishes, maintains and deactivates the physical connection. It specifies the mechanical, electrical and procedural network interface specifications. Okay, so what are the functions given here? So there are mainly functions, some functions are there. First one is line configuration. So it defines the way how two or more devices can be connected physically. That means if we are using more than one systems, then how they are connected with each other to communicate with each other, how they are connected by using some physical mediums. That is the main function of the physical layer, and that is called as the line configuration. Okay, next one is data transmission. As we have discussed so far in our last sessions, that what are the different types of data transmission modes are there. Simplex, half duplex and full duplex mode of communication is there. So it defines that this functionality defines the transmission mode, whether it is simplex, half duplex or full duplex mode between the two devices on the network. Okay, next one is topology. Okay, so what is the topology? The structural arrangement of n number of networks grouped together to communicate with each other, or n number of devices to communicate with each other, is known as the topology. Okay, so it defines the way how network devices are arranged. Okay, the arrangement is known as the topology. Okay, so signal, another function is signal. It determines the type of the signal used for transmitting the information, whether it is a analog signal or whether it is a digital signal. So two types of signals are there. We have discussed already about the signals and the datas. So what are the two types of signals are there? One is analog signal and second one is digital signal. So this functionality determines the type of the signal used for transmitting the information. Okay, so this is all about the physical layer. Okay, next one is data link layer. Okay, so next one is what? Data link layer. So first we may go about the data link layer and their functionalities. Okay, so what is the responsibility of a data link layer? So basically data link layer is responsible for the error-free transfer of data frames. That means whatever the data comes from the network layer, they are converted into the frames, or from the physical layer the raw bit streams are converted into the frames, and then they are moved to the network layer. Okay, to the network layer. From the network layer the data comes from the network layer as shown in the diagram, and it reaches to the data link layer, and the data link layer moves to the physical layer. After that it moves by the transmission medium to the physical layer, then data link layer, then towards the network layer. Okay, so here what is the function of data link layer? It is responsible for the error-free transfer of data frames. Okay, so data link layer again having two sublayers are there. they are LLC and MAC. So what are the two sublayers are there? LLC and MAC. Okay, so what is the full form of LLC? Logical link control. And what is the full form of MAC? Medium access control. So what is the functionality of LLC and what is the function of MAC? So the main functionality for LLC is transferring the packets to the network layer. Transferring the packets to the network layer, and it also provides the flow control. Okay. So what is the main functionality of LLC? LLC is responsible for transmitting the packets, whatever the packets are came from the data link layer. It is responsible to transfer it to the network layer. So, and it provides also the data flow control. Okay. Then what is the function of MAC protocol or MAC layer? It establishes a link between, listen carefully, it establishes a link between the LLC and the network physical layer. What it does? It provides a link between LLC and network physical layer, and generally it is used for transferring the packets. Okay, so may go to the nodes. These are the nodes. This layer is responsible for the error-free transfer of data frames. It defines the format of the data on the network. It provides a reliable and efficient communication between two or more devices. It is mainly responsible for the unique identification of each device that resides on a local network. That means how many number of systems are interconnected with each other in a local network, that is identified by the data link layer. Okay, the name suggests that data link layer. That means how many number of links are available. Okay, so it is mainly defined by the data link layer. And how is the type of links are, how many types of links are there, and how many number of links are there, these are described by the data link layer. Okay, as I have told you, it contains two sublayers, logical link control layer and media access control layer. So what is the function of a logical link layer? It is responsible for transferring the packets to the network layer of the receiver that is receiving. So it defines the address of the network layer protocol from the header. It also provides flow control. So what is the function of MAC layer? A medium access control layer is a link between the logical link control layer and the network physical layer. Okay, so it is used for transferring the packets over the network. Okay, so next is the functions of data link layer. So what are the functions are there in the data link layer? So first one is framing. So what is the framing? The data link layer translates the physical raw bit streams into packets known as frames. That means the physical raw bit stream, that is 0 and 1 format raw bit stream is there. It translates the physical raw bit streams into packets known as the frames. Okay, so the raw bit streams are translated into packets that are called as the frames. So it adds a header and a trailer to the frame. It adds the header and a trailer to the frame. The header which is added to the frame contains the hardware, destination and source address. Okay, so the header contains what? The hardware, destination and source address. Next one is physical addressing. So what is the physical addressing? The data link layer adds a header to the frame that contains a destination address. Okay, so the header part here contains what? The destination address. The physical addressing means the destination address that is defined to whom the packet is to be delivered. Okay, the frame is transmitted to the destination address mentioned in the address. Okay, or by accessing the address, the frame is transmitted towards the destination. Okay, so next is flow control. So what is flow control? So flow control is the main functionality, or it is the technique through which the constant data rate is maintained on both the sides so that no data get corrupted. So what the flow control means? What the flow control means? It is a technique through which the constant data rate, okay, that means whatever the data are transferred from one location to another location, there is a speed is there, and that is called the data rate. That means in a moment of time how many numbers of data are transmitted, that is called the data rate, is maintained on both the sides so that no data get corrupted. Okay, that means no data loss is there. So that is called as the flow control. It ensures that the transmitting station such as a server with higher processing speed does not exceed the receiving station. That means what is the speed of the server for transferring the files, that is same as the receiving station that receives the number of files with a lower processing speed. Okay, next one is there error control. So what is error control? Error control is achieved by adding a calculated value, that is cyclic redundancy check. That means duplication check. Okay, redundancy means duplication check, that is placed to the data link layer's trailer, which is added to the message frame before it is sent to the physical layer. Okay, next one is here access control. What is access control? When two or more devices are connected to the same communication channel. Okay, when two or more devices are connected to the same communication channel, then the data link layer protocols are used to determine which device has a control over the link at a given time. Okay, that means access control mechanism defines that if we are using the multiple devices and there is a one communication channel, then at a particular time in which device is assigned to the communication channel to accessing. For accessing, which device is assigned to the communication channel that is controlled by the data link layer, and this functionality is called as access control. Okay, this is called as the access control. Okay, so the number 3 layer is there. What is the number 3 layer? So this is called the network layer. What is that? Network layer. So whatever the data come from the transport layer, it passes to the data link layer by the help of network layer, and then it moves to the again data link layer of another system, and moves to the network layer, and moves to the transport layer. So in case of data link layer, in our previous layer, data link layer, the transmission process is based on the frames, but in network layer it is based on the what? Packets. Given here it is packets. Okay, so the number of packets are transferred from one location to another location. Okay, but in case of data link layer, the frames are transmitted from one location to another location, and in case of physical layer, the raw bit streams, individual raw bit streams or individual bits are transmitted from one location to another location. Okay, so we may go through the network layer. So what is the main responsibility of network layer? It manages device addressing and tracks the location of devices. But it manages the device addressing, that means it has the information about all the systems and it tracks the location of different devices. Okay, next, what is the next responsibility there? It determines the best path to move data from source location to the destination based on the network condition. Okay, so there are mainly two responsibilities are there. What are they? It manages device addressing and tracks the location of devices, and second one is it determines the best path. Okay, what is the best possible path to transmit a message securely in a error-free format from one location to another location. This is determined by the network layer. Okay, let me go to the notes. It is a layer that manages device addressing, tracks the location of devices on the network. It determines the best path to move data from source to the destination based on the network conditions and the priority of service. Priority means highest priority and lowest priority is there. Okay, and other factors. The data link layer is responsible for routing and forwarding the packets. So routing means defining the routes, that is called as the routing, and forwarding the packets. Okay, routers are the layer 3 devices. They are specified in this layer and used to provide the routing services within an internetwork. That means router provides the appropriate route. Okay, appropriate route service within a internetwork. Internetwork means the number of networks are interconnected with each other for solving some task, that is called the internetwork. Okay, so the protocols used to route the network traffic are known as the network layer protocols. Examples of protocols are IP and IPv6. So IP means IPv4 and IPv6. Okay, these are the versions of internet protocol. Next, we may go through the functions of a network layer. So what are the functions of network layer are there? There are 4 types of functions are there. So first one is internetworking. So what is the internetworking? Internetworking provides a logical connection between different devices. That means it provides a logical connection between the different devices. Okay, these are called as the internetworking. What is the addressing? Addressing means it adds the source and destination address to the header of the frame. Okay, and addressing is used to identify the device on the internet. Okay, here it is given. A network layer adds the source and destination address to the header of the frame. Addressing is used to identify the device on the internet. Okay, so where the address is put on the header part. Okay, what are the two types of address are there? Source address and destination address. So source address means who sends the message, and destination address means from where it has to be delivered. Okay, delivered. Okay, what is the next functionality is there? Routing. So routing means discovering the route. Okay, so routing is the major component of the network layer, and it determines the best optimal path. Okay, that means the best optimal path out of the multiple paths from source to the destination. If number of paths are there, then router, the main functionality of router is it finds the best path, and by the help of the best path, if our message is transferring, then the message should be the correct one, and within a minimum number of time or minimal time, it should be reached in the destination path. So these all functionalities are done by the router. Okay, next one is packetizing. Okay, so what is packetizing? A network layer receives the packets from the upper layer and converts them into packets. Okay, this process is known as packetizing. Okay, it is achieved by internet protocol. So what is the role of internet protocol here? So internet protocol is mainly used to convert the frames into the packets. Okay, so this is the all about the functionalities of network layer. Okay, so this is all about the three layers. So what we have discussed so far, the three layers: physical layer, data link layer, and network layer. So I hope you understand about all three the layers, and in our next session we may go through the next four layers. They are transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. Okay, due to it is a vast topic, that's why I have divided it into two parts. So first part we have discussed so far about physical layer, data link layer, and a network layer, and in our next part we have go through the transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. I hope you understand this video, okay, or this session. Okay, thank you.